training was the work. That was the hard part. The reward for me was the fight.
Were you scared before fights?
Never. I loved fighting. As a kid, I was given a gift from my grandfather. I wish I could remember how he taught me that and how I felt that way. I've never been afraid of a man in my life. I think your mind's really smart.
Yes.
Right? So if it figures out that when you get hit,
Yes.
your fight or flight response
Yes.
it usually has to be, I gotta go, I gotta survive, I gotta survive.
Yes.
But it figures out that, hey, if I just shut down, nothing happens to me.
So you and Mike Tyson. What's the real answer? What if you just met in an alley somewhere and it was you and Mike Tyson?
Street fight, I win.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a puncher's chance. I mean, he's got a chance to catch me coming in, but other than that, it's over.
That's an awesome thing to hear. Welcome back to Max Out, everybody. This gentleman to my left is one of the most recognizable athletes of the last many decades, certainly one of the most recognized faces and haircuts of all time. He is the ICEMAN, and he is one of the all-time greats, many would argue the greatest UFC fighter in the history of MMA. So, man, I'm fired up you're here, brother.
Thanks for having me,
brother.
man.
Thanks, Chuck. Chuck Liddell, everybody, in case you didn't know. So, thanks for being here. By the way, we decided to start out with a toast. Little tequila to toast our interview today. Salud. Boom.
That's good.
It's actually pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
It's 1942.
Yeah, 40 is my favorite.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good. Well, I got a little left when we're done. Hey, listen, there's so many things I want to talk to you about, but when the people that are watching this on YouTube, they're going to see a little scar here. And then my road shut down today, everybody, so it's perfect timing. He had to walk.
Yeah, his road shut down. Just happens the day that I had knee surgery about a week ago.
A week ago.
I mean, it's a partial knee replacement. It's doing well, so I was able to walk. Still make it down here. It took a little while, but
Perfect timing.
good. Got a good workout in on my knee, so now just needed a little ice, I think.
This is part of the post-career thing guys don't see. You were talking about some of our mutual friends like NFL guys or boxing dudes and whatnot, but not only did you have the knee done, but you also had your neck done too. Tell them what you done. So everyone's seeing these scars on you.
Yeah, I just, a few weeks back, I had my C3, C4 done. Well, and I didn't know anything was wrong. Look, we're athletes. We're meatheads. Like if I have problems, issues, and because my C3, 4, it was sliding, so what it was doing was causing me to lose coordination and balance.
Really?
I couldn't, I'll fast forward to that, but I'll talk about it later, but I couldn't pass it. I couldn't stand on one foot.
You're kidding me.
With my eyes closed. As soon as I closed my eyes, I'd lose balance. They asked me to go across and walk a heel toe with my eyes closed. I couldn't take one step. I was falling over. So I'm like, wow. I guess I did have a problem. I'm sorry. No, but I went down. I was trying to put off doing the replacement on the knee, right? So my doctor said, do whatever you can to put it off. I've been putting it off for 3 or 4 years. And finally, I went down to Columbia. The guys from BioAccelerator talked to me, and they're doing stem cells down there, and they're doing a little different. I tried stem cells up here. It worked for about a month, maybe a month and a half.
Yeah.
On my knee, and then it went back to normal. So I'm okay. And then, but they said down there they do a lot. Down there they're able to do a lot more than they're allowed to do in the U.S.
Where's there?
Columbia.
Okay, Columbia.
Out of the U.S., they're allowed to do a lot more. So I get down there, and I'm gonna get my knee done, and I get both shoulders. Both shoulders have been beat up for my whole career. Actually, my old doctor, doctor for my shoulders, said, I pretty much guarantee you're gonna have surgery before. By the time you're 50, you look like you played in the NFL for 10 years.
Yeah.
In your MRI. And I turned 50 this year, and I still haven't had surgery. So thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank God. But I went down there, I got both of them shot up, and I was doing my knee, and they asked last minute, is there any place else that you might want to take care of? I said, well, my neck has been really sore for quite a while. Just like it seems to stay sore, I said, okay, let's do an MRI first, and then we'll do it, because it's really good with like bulge disc for the stem cells.
I've heard that.
So I went, and then they look at the thing. The guy comes in, the doctor comes in. He's looking at me. By any chance getting numbness in your hands? Have you lost any coordination or balance? No, I'm fine. Because I thought I was, and I really did. Yeah, no problem. He said, well, when you get home, give me a prescription for a test to take.
Okay.
And told me to take it to a doctor and have him look at it.
Okay.
So I came home, and then I went to Vietnam for a month. Family went to Saudi Arabia. Then we went for a fight, watch a fight, and then I came home, and then we were doing something. About a month later, maybe a month and a half later, my wife's like, Chuck, what's wrong with you? You keep dropping things. I'm clumsy. You know that. I've always been clumsy because I was always clumsy.
You were clumsy?
I was always one of those guys. Like if I'm not thinking, my mind's always somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I trip over things. I do stupid stuff. I catch myself real good because I was athletic. And when I'm athletic, I wasn't. When I'm working on something, I was very not clumsy.
Yeah, obviously.
But she's like, no, you're dropping things. It's more than normal. This isn't right. So let's go see the doctors. Let's finally go see what they told me to do down there. So I went into my doctor, Dr. Mylett. He's this center actually down there.
Okay.
And went in to see him, and he looked at it. He looked at the MRI. And he told, let's go get these X-rays. He came back, and I walk in the room to talk to him. He goes, so you don't have any symptoms, huh? Do me a favor. Walk across the room, stand over there, close your eyes, and do walk heel toe. So I went over to walk heel toe, and it was like this.
Whoa.
No, I'm fine. Hold on, I just messed that up. Sorry, give me 2 more chances. I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it.
I couldn't do heel toe. Like my eyes, with my eyes.
That scared me. That would scare me.
Yeah, and they said, well, stand on one foot. Now put your hands out, stand on one foot, and touch it. I couldn't stand 1 foot. I couldn't balance on 1 foot. And so he goes, well, so yeah, you need to do surgery. We need to do this disc. And he goes, well, we'll squeeze you in next week.
Next week?
I'm like, well, that seems fast.
Yeah.
Are you sure we need? Are we positive? Like what?
Right.
You know. And then my wife was doing. She said, well, let's get a second opinion. Let's make sure. We talk something. First thing, I went to another place. He looked at the thing. He goes. He just looked at it. He goes, yeah.
For sure.
So yeah. So you need surgery. We have to wait till this doctor gets back, but we can squeeze you in right when he gets back. I was like, why is it such a rush? So, well, the thing is it's real sliding real bad. So it's tapping my spinal cord, which is causing some damage. And then they said if for some reason I got some big trauma to it, there's a good chance it could
paralysis.
Yeah,
brother.
So I was like, okay, cool. So we went and got surgery. The nice thing about it is, I mean, they've been doing the same surgery for about 30 years. They say that it's you know, and right when I walked out, like right when I got up from surgery, I was able to balance on 1 foot.
Immediately, there was a difference.
All this was gone. Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's still a little more coming back. They said there's a little time for everything to come back.
Sure.
And it takes a couple months before it's fused, but.
You know why it's important? Because you and I know, I mean, you know more than I do, but we both have a lot of friends that are athletes that have been in a combat sport. Obviously, your sport, the biggest combat sport, but I'm talking hockey guys, NFL guys too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what people don't see? What the post-career looks like. And when you're seeing these guys putting beatings on guys and taking beatings, one of the things Chuck, as I've worked with more UFC guys or MMA folks and boxing guys on their mental game, I go to training. It's something a fan doesn't think about. I never thought about. We see the interaction, the combat that happens in the cage, but they don't think about the combat that's been happening for months prior in training. So this is just 1 day of combat, right? So the amount of blows a guy like you was delivering and taking over the years. I think your admiration for these athletes, everybody, if you knew what training looked like for them, would you agree with that? Like, I don't think it's a thing a normal fan knows.
Training was the work. That was the hard part. The reward for me was the fight. That's a reward. I got to go out and fight. Yes, we're here, we're ready to go, and that's fun. And there's not a lot of damage that occurs in that short amount of time.
Yeah.
Think about it. You're out. I mean, we're working a couple times a day. You got guys rotating in on you. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're getting injured. You're working through it. You're doing all your things, and that's the hard part. The camp is the hard part.
The camp's the hard part.
The camp is always what makes it harder.
Have you ever thought of, take your neck, for example, right? Everyone, even if you see an NFL quarterback, like I've got real good friends and they're done, like they don't walk like a normal person anymore, right? After those years of sacrifice in any of these sports, these athletes have laid a lot of their body on the line. Have you ever thought in your life how many punches you've absorbed to different parts of your body? It's literally, I mean, oh my God, what's the number?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, and even as I played football in high school a year, and a year in college, And I mean, I got more stingers from football than I have in anything.
You really?
I remember it, you know.
Really?
So there's a lot of damage from even from that.
So I'm curious about you. We're gonna go everywhere today. I've always, for years, I love the UFC. I love MMA in general, but you particularly fascinate people. I think you're the most well-known. I think you and Conor McGregor are the two most well-known UFC fighters of all time.
So funny thing is, he told me when he met me that I'm the reason he got into MMA.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I got to think that's really common with guys.
He took a picture of me. What's happened to me a few times? The guys there took a picture of me when he was 16 years old after a fight I had in
no kidding.
In Atlantic City. Yeah.
And then you see them in the cage
you see
someday.
A picture, and another guy sent me I thought it was pretty cool. Send me a picture. He said, "Hey man, you took this picture with me when I was a kid, and now I'm having my fight. I'm finally fighting in the UFC."
That's amazing, bro.
That's pretty awesome. That's cool.
What was it? So, why people loved you? Why I did? Your style was violent, right? You were a fighter, and kind of known as like a blue collar fighter, right? So I would watch you as a guy who's not a fighter, right? And obviously there's all these physical gifts and all the training and tactics and strategies. I'm curious, a badass dude like you, I'm sitting next to one of arguably the toughest men on earth, even though you don't feel that way, but that's a fact. Were you scared before fights?
Never. I loved fighting. I think as a kid, I was given a gift from my grandfather. I wish I could remember how he taught me that and how I felt that way. But I've never been afraid of a man in my life. Because my thing was, it was always like, it's not, because I had a friend of mine asked me one time, do you ever walk in a bar and look around and see who you could beat, who this and that? So why? I don't care if I can beat him. He commits a fighting offense, we fighting. I was brought up, if you do something, if you do something wrong to me or to my friends, we fighting. So I don't really care if you can beat me or not. You beat me up, you better beat me up good, because we come back tomorrow, we'll do it all over again.
There was something though when you were a little boy, I recall you telling a story once where your grandfather saw one of your buddies getting picked on or something. Yeah. It was like, what are you going to do about this, right?
Yeah, but he looked at it, he just looked at him. Cool. All right, here we go.
Even then, you weren't afraid of that guy.
I mean, it was bigger than me, and he knocked me down a few times, threw me down. I kept coming and got up, and I outlasted him. So I beat him that way. But yeah, I wasn't. I was never. Don't get me wrong, too. I love fighting. I started doing martial arts, and I begged my mom for a couple of years to get her to let me do Koi-Kon, karate do. That's not what I begged to do. Actually, we kind of fell into doing that. I just begged her to do karate, and she finally said, "Okay, I'll take you to do karate." We actually went by, which was kind of funny. I ended up doing Kempo in the end.
Yeah.
But we went by Kempo school twice.
Okay.
During working hours, and it was closed. So we're like, okay. And we were walking home. My mom saw a karate dojo, and what's this one? So we just wandered in, and it was a.
Why'd you want to do that? Because there was no UFC.
Oh, I used to watch Kung Fu theater, and during the Kung Fu theater, they'd have these little demonstrations.
Okay.
In the thing, right? And I was like, I'd see these guys doing all these crazy breaks, and I thought that was amazing. I want to be able to do that. And I, like everybody else, I thought I was going to go to karate school. They're going to teach me some magic moves, and I was going to beat everybody up. Right. I'd beat anybody up. I could defend anybody, do whatever I had to do.
Yeah.
And I went in there, and what happens a lot of times in our school is a lot of people, the first 3 to 6 months, you get your green belt.
Yep.
And people come in there and they realize that there's no magic to it. It's just a lot of hard work to get better. If you want to get better, you got to work hard. You got to get better, you got to learn. And that's when most people quit. For me, I felt like I went in there. I said, "What do you mean? You mean I figured out that? You mean if I work harder than him, I can get better than him? If I outwork him, if I do more than he does, if I do this better than he does, I can get better than him. I can get better than him. Oh man, this is great."
Really?
And I try to tell people, like they ask me about like I was not a casual martial arts student. I went 5 days. They were open 5 days a week. I went 5 days a week. During wrestling season, I went 5 days a week. I went after. No one goes to another conditioning class and thing after wrestling practice.
You did.
I used to. We go after football. I go. After we play football, I go to karate. I go karate. And then and then there's that other thing too. The good, me, I was a little bit different. Like one of the good things I did when I was doing that, because it was hard style karate, and it's a great school. They had about 30, 40 like blue collar, just tough guys, roughnecks, like to spar a lot. Because our dojo and our style was the best one in full contact. Okay. We put headgear on. We were the best gym in full contact. Point sparring, actually, I won it for him a couple times, but point sparring, we were just okay. Yeah. But full contact, we were the best. And I had all these meatheads that like to fight. But I just sit there and train with them. I was 15 years old fighting men.
Fighting men?
Yeah. Oh, it was one of the times I was so funny. I was in there, and this guy goes, "Man, you're always here. Do you need a job?" I said, "Well, I'm in summer, but I'm in high school." He's all, wait. I go, "How old are you?"
That's incredible.
He goes, "How old are you?" I'm 15. Oh man, I got a 15-year-old kicking my ass.
No way.
Well, but I loved it. I was,
I think there's a business lesson in that. One, obviously, the outwork everybody thing is obviously a monster lesson for business. But the other part of it is putting yourself in competition levels that are maybe past what most people think are normal. Right. For a 15-year-old boy to be fighting grown men and kicking their ass is freaking unreal. Yeah. Do you think that, I want to ask you about you, like, I wish I had 9 hours with you, man, because I'm so, first off, that thing you said, because I'm a pretty big dude too, right? Yeah. But I know what it's like to be afraid when a fight started. I've been in a fight, I've won it or lost it, but I've been afraid. You saying that you've not had a fear of another man is like, we're wired a little different, right? Which I love. I also feel like the guys I know that are the best fighters, and there's a business principle in this too. Everyone knows you had some kind of electricity in these hands of yours that were special, right? I mean, you would hit people and they would just collapse often, right? I mean, there's something. I had
heavy hands.
You had heavy hands.
Heavy hands. Yeah.
You're gifted with that, correct? I mean, I know there's technique.
That's gifted. There's some things, and John Hackelman helped me harvest it.
Who was your trainer?
My trainer helped me harvest it and get it the right way, but it's a gift.
There's a gift there to have these heavy electric hands. Yeah. Golovkin has it in boxing, right? He hits dudes and they just fall. Tyson had it in boxing too. You had it, and I mean, it was just remarkable to watch you hit people and things that would happen to their bodies that they couldn't control, right? But the thing that I think people, because I think that's happened in business too, they're like, wow, this person's just, they're electric in their energy, they're electric in their mind. And yeah, you could look at those things and say, that's what makes them special in business. But what I think makes a fighter different is they don't mind getting hit. It's not just their ability to hit. They don't mind getting, if you don't fight, because I've been in there with guys now, like the difference of absorbing a blow and coming back and hitting another man as if it didn't hit you. Like you don't mind getting, and that's the separator in business. In businesses, a lot of people have that extraordinary talent. How good are you at taking hits, right? Let's talk about that thing with you or other great fighters.
And that's the thing. I mean, I see it right away. If you're afraid to get hit, if you're overly like doing this,
you would know that.
I can see it, and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be easy. Because I know where you're gonna. I know how to fake. I can throw fakes to do things, make things. You're really jumpy. You're making it real easy to hit you.
And you did not mind that.
No, I didn't. I didn't want to get hit.
Sure.
I didn't. But it's part of the game. If I mess up, I get hit. Okay, but when I get hit, you have that fire back. That's like, oh, you hit me. Okay, now here we go. I'm gonna get you. It's not like it's a different fire. The fire back for me is like, oh man, let's go. It's not like, oh, I just got hit. It's oh, you hit me. I'm mad you hit me. I messed up. Damn it. I'm gonna come get you.
Would you ever be in, even in big fights at the top levels? Like there's this unbelievable, guys, I tell you something, I've watched a lot of sports documentaries. There's this 30 for 30 out right now about you, kind of Dana White and Tito Ortiz. Guys, it's so good, and you're unbelievable in it. But they kind of allude to this, at least in your perception. Did you know, they kind of allude, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to Tito, but they kind of allude to the fact that he didn't want to fight you. He had sparred with you. Take them through, if you don't mind, for a minute, and then your opinion about it now that you're not on the 30 for 30.
We trained together. All right, we trained together a few times.
You and Tito.
Hear that? Me and Tito trained together a few times. We did some stuff together.
And you're both managed by Dana White.
And we were both managed by Dana White.
Right.
And I actually became friends with some of the guys that trained with him and friends of his. And I didn't dislike the guy. We were cool. I was cool with him. I'd say hi to him when I saw him. But when it came around time when we were starting to get to the point where he's going to have to fight me, all of a sudden it turned into we're too good friends to fight.
Right.
And I'm like going, when did that happen?
But that happened, if you talk about, there was a sparring session.
Oh, no, what? That was before that even. Like,
okay, even prior to that.
Every sparring session we've ever had.
You dominated.
Like, I went down there one time. We were supposed to work out for 2 days. First, I went on the first striking thing. I dropped him with a body shot.
You dropped him.
I dropped him, and he goes down, and then I beat him up the rest of the time. And then later that night, we come out, we do wrestling, just straight wrestling. And I beat him. I took him down 4 times. He didn't take me down at all. And then we went to his house, and he was frustrated. Like, man. And then he goes, I got you. I figured it out. I know what I'm going to do. I was just coming too hard. You played again. Okay, I got you. So he switched up his thing, was backing up a little more, doing that stuff. So I started being aggressive, taking him down. So I took him down 4 times. He took me down once at the end, but I was like, look, my foot's on the cement over here, and the time just ran out. But if you want to call that a takedown, take it.
So there was a domination happening.
And then whenever we did like groundwork, like we started top bottom. Say in a 5-minute round, I'd probably get up 10 times. You guys know? He couldn't keep me down from top. So here, put this in your head for him. Every time we train together, every time we sparred. Even when we were on Vegas, I was out helping him out for Yuki Kondo. And I came in and I fought Southpaw.
Okay.
Sparred Southpaw with him. After about 3 rounds, he's supposed to do 6 with me. He threw his haters up. I'm out of here.
Really?
Okay, whatever. And then we went and wrestled, and I was out there, and I took him down 8 times, and one right after that, because he's already hot. Took him down 8 times to 1. I think the last takedown, I gave it to him because I was like, he got it on my leg, and I was tired. I had gone out the night before. He was training for a fight, so I'm like, whatever. But these are all the interactions we had fighting. Like, okay, think about it. I'll list it off for you.
Okay.
He's never taken me down when I was striking. Yeah. Couldn't take me down at all. And every time we practiced ever. We got maybe 1, maybe 2 takedowns on. I beat him in a straight wrestling match. And he knows
straight up. And that's his forte. That's his thing.
And it's just styles make matches, wrestling matches like anything else. And he's a perfect style for me. He tries to bully and muscle you, and he ain't doing that to me. I'm really good with people like that. So he can't beat me in a straight wrestling match. In jiu-jitsu, he probably has better submissions than I do on other people. But like, he's not going to submit me, and he can't keep me down. Like, if I get down, his whole thing is that even if he takes me down, he knows he can't keep me there. He knows I'll be up in 20 seconds. So he's like, I mean, he's not going to. There's nothing he can do to me. So, and he's gotten better with it over the years. But at that time, he still did not like to get hit. Like in enough of a way where he was a little gun shy.
Yeah.
But he knew how hard I hit too. So it wasn't like
you're not a normal hitter, right?
Yeah, I hit really hard, so it's not exactly.
Right. It's not pleasant for anybody.
So, yeah. So he knows all that. But when it came down, like, the fight before when I fought Vitor and he jumped in the ring, he's all ready to.
Yeah.
When it was time for us to go, he's all ready to kick my butt. Right?
Yeah, right.
And then when it comes out, he says, I think we're gonna make more money and be over friendship. And like I even said it now in some interviews, like he's sitting there, he's like, I was trying to hold out for more money for both of us. Well, where was my phone call?
To say, if
you wanted to hold out for both of us to make money, you call me. You tell me, hey Chuck, let's hold out. We can get paid better. It'd be a lot better for me. I'm like, I didn't get that call. So he goes, and he actually last name, I guess I should have called you. But I will tell you, I'd be hard pressed to remember one time he called me for something that did not include business. He called me outside, and usually someone else set me up to come spar with him anyway.
Okay.
And
so the relationship was overcooked.
Oh, yeah, way overcooked.
Way overcooked.
It was cooked by him because he needed to manufacture a reason why
he wasn't fighting you.
He wasn't going to fight me.
Right, I get it.
But I mean. And then I think when he finally did fight me, he thought because I lost to Randy that I'd slipped because he hadn't wrestled. He had trained with me in a couple of years. So he thought, maybe he's going downhill. Maybe I can beat him now, and I don't really have another choice. So this is a good time for him.
So when you're in your prime, because by the way, everybody, the UFC that you now watch, really to some extent, it was built during this era of sort of Tito and you. And also to some extent, Randy Couture was floating around there, and he had that win against you. But what struck me that was so fascinating is that you end up becoming the big star But for a while, they were trying to really elevate Tito because they thought he had more star power, and you were kind of this like.
Well, his management and them were telling him if Chuck becomes champion, you're gonna kill the sport.
Because you were what? Because you were such a nice guy and a working man type of fighter.
I wasn't. I didn't have a personality.
That's so amazing.
I'm like, really? Well, here's the thing though too. Like UFC.
Because your style was so attractive.
Dana was complaining to me about my interviews. Now you got to remember back then, these interviewers didn't know, and they didn't know what MMA was. They had no idea what to ask you. They don't even look at their one sheet, so they don't even know who you are, barely. So, I'd go in there and they'd ask dumb questions, and I guess, or they'd ask and answer, and they'd do all this crazy stuff. So, and Dana's like, man, you got to get better, but he wasn't telling me how. Like, hey, you can't just tell someone, like me telling you, hey, your punch sucks, get better. Well, can you tell me how to do it? Give me a few tips, maybe. So actually, my manager at the time, his sister was a drama teacher or had a drama degree, and she offered to do like an interview course, like with me. So I did a couple practices. I did two practices with her, and I learned. She said, right away, like we come in and the first day, and then she goes through and she had me write down the 10 most common questions I got asked. She crossed them all. You're getting asked 3 questions basically. That was it.
Okay.
And all these people don't know what to say. And she said, I know you're laid back and this and that, but you're at a 2. I need you at an 8.
Okay.
You're gonna need, and you feel like you're yelling at this interviewer to make it sound right. And she said, and now what the best advice she gave me was, I take the first question they asked. I don't care what it is. Answer yes or no to it, and then talk for about a minute about what you want to talk about. Say everything you want to get out. Basically, do a 1 minute thing about everything you want to get out. And if they're good at all at what they do, they will pick and choose out of that what to make it good, and then you make them look good.
Yeah.
Like you make them look good, you look good, and they want you back again. At win-win everybody. And that was probably the best advice I ever got back then, because we did go to a lot of places where these guys had no idea what we were talking. But you see, are you a WWE? Is it like WWE?
Right.
No.
Oh, right.
We're not wrestlers.
It seems to me like you loved fighting so damn much. All these other things were like sort of a nuisance, like even the business part of it, all that other stuff.
I wish I had paid a little more attention to some of those things now. But yeah, I really liked just being a fighter.
I want to talk about the fighting thing for a minute. I feel like when a guy loves to fight like that, maybe you disagree with me, maybe you're born with that, but other part of it is like there's something in their life they're fighting, if I'm being real. And I look at, like, I was studying your story. I have to think that your upbringing, to some extent, like, did not having your dad around make an impact on you?
I really don't think so. Like, because the hard thing to explain to people is I love to fight, but I'm not a violent person.
Yeah, you're not at all. You're a very kind guy.
I don't like to hurt people. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. You come out there, we're fighting. I'm trying to kill you. But as soon as things over, I hope you're all right.
Yeah. I can see that on you.
But I mean, so I really don't think, I think I was a little different. Like people try to talk about, I probably was a little bitter when my dad left and never tried to come back, right? But I didn't really miss a dad because I moved in with my grandpa when we were 8, and my grandfather was my dad. And, I was actually blessed with that because he was obviously a lot better role model
than your dad.
Than my father.
Your dad actually, did he not shoot at your mom or something?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right, when she...
He got rid of our Great Dane because our Great Dane wouldn't let him hit us. Now remember, I was under 3 at the time. He was beating us, and the Great Dane attacked him. So he got rid of our Great Dane. But crazy, yeah. Great Dane was cool.
Is he your grandfather? Is he passed away?
Yeah, he passed away.
Did he live long enough to know what you became?
No, and you hit that. That was probably my. People ask me, "Have you got any regrets?" And I don't. I got to be here when I was through the upbringing of the sport and be there for like all these. It was a great ride. Like there was great stories, lots of fun. We had a lot of crazy times. But the one thing I was sad about, my grandpa never made it, because my grandpa, when I was a kid, 19 years old, hey, you know that Mike Tyson guy? I know you can beat him. I know you can. I'm like, yeah, Pops, whatever, man. Whatever. Cool. Which, to me, it's just funny. Nowadays, it would be nice to ever have him see that that's a serious question.
Yeah.
Who's winning a fight, you and Mike? You know, I make it real simple. Boxing, Mike. MMA, me.
You.
He's got one shot on the way in.
Yeah.
Once I get in, it's over.
But overall, let's stay there for a second. You and Mike Tyson, you're a light heavyweight, so he's a little heavier than you, but he was a small heavyweight by today's standards, right?
Of course, yeah.
So maybe even walking around, you might weigh as much as him walking around.
We probably would have walked around about the same weight, we're in shape.
What's the real answer? What if you just met in an alley somewhere and it was you and Mike Tyson?
Street fight, I win.
You win.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a puncher's chance. I mean, he's got a chance to catch me coming in, but other than that, it's over.
That's an awesome thing to hear.
But the fact that my grandfather never got to saw that, if I had a regret, was that because he's a big reason why I made it. Because he always believed in me. You can do anything you want. You do anything. You work hard enough at it. You can do anything you want. Well, you can't quit. I mean, half the time I couldn't quit. I tell people I don't know how to quit. Number one, number two. My grandfather rolled over in his grave. I did. So
Would you ever think that way? Honestly, would he stay on your mind even after you passed away? If you were training or you're going into a fight?
Yeah, it's always been on my mind.
Really?
Yeah. He taught me to fight. He taught me to be tough. You know.
That's wonderful, man.
My mom too. My mom's a tough lady, man. She was my grandfather's daughter, so she was a tough lady too. So.
How many brothers you have?
I have two brothers and a sister.
And did the brothers also? He taught them to fight too, right?
Yeah, and they just didn't take it serious. You know, I fell in love with martial arts and fighting, and I loved it. Like I just couldn't get enough of it.
Let's talk about your career for a minute. You're so dominant for so long, right? And so, what sticks with you more, the big wins, or say the Couture loss, for example? Like in year now, and you reflect, like what do you?
The biggest thing about that loss the biggest thing that crushed me about that loss was I let Tito off the hook because he wouldn't fight me.
Yeah.
And beating Randy there was kind of forcing him to fight me.
Were you looking past him at all?
No, actually. Here's what happened. Look, to me, is the way I feel. What happened? Randy's a tough guy. Number one. Number two, I was training for the fight. I tore my MCL about 8 weeks out. Oh. And I modified my training not to hurt it, not to continue to hurt it, and I got it to heal. It was 100% for the fight. I was 100%. Good. But I hadn't been wrestling. And I got a little overconfident. Thought,
it's a great wrestler.
I'm fine. I'll be okay. I didn't watch the fight again because I was so upset about it.
Really?
Right? And so I was going to fight Randy. So I sat down to watch the first fight. And about 3.5 minutes into the first round, I went, I got this. It's over. No problem. I got him. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm good. Because I looked at it, I was flat-footed. I was slow reactions.
Really?
Everything was just off. And I'm like, oh, that's what happened. I got this. I got you. We got this, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this camp.
And then
it came out and knocked out the first round.
You did. And in your prime, you beat Tito twice, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you beat him twice. So the things that you said applied before. All right, I got a weird question for you, and it's a hard one for you to answer. So this will be the hardest one. I've watched in fighting. You were so dominant. Is there some truth to this? And then this is maybe a hard question, but I watched this happen to Roy Jones. He had one knockout where he was violently knocked out. And it seemed to me, I wonder if you'll talk about this. It seemed to me, and I've seen this with some other guys too, Amir Khan in boxing too. Their chin seems different after that one time. Do you feel like in your case, because you just obliterated people forever? Yeah,
I talked to different people, and one of the reasons I decided to retire in the first place, way back, was the fact that a lot of people that gave me reasons for that, different
this theory
ideas
here.
And different theories for why it happens.
Yep.
And then, but then they couldn't give me a way to change it. So
how do you fix it?
How do you fix it? And like one of them was, one of them actually, I was kind of interesting, seemed kind of, I don't know if it really works, but they said, I think your mind's really smart.
Yes.
Right? So if it figures out that when you get hit,
yes,
your fight or flight response,
yes,
it usually has to be, I gotta go, I gotta
yes.
survive, I gotta survive.
Yes.
But it figures out that, hey, if I just shut down, nothing happens to me.
You got it.
If I just shut down,
yes.
I stop getting hurt.
Yes.
So in your mind,
the mind is trained the body to do that.
Once it trains it,
yes.
It's like, oh, you're starting to get hurt in the head instead of having that I got to fight.
Yes.
Your mind goes, oh, let's curl up and.
Oh, I think that's true.
And there's some truth to that.
Because guys, what I'm talking about, and this is an interesting thing, because this is about the baddest ass dude on the planet, right? He's obliterating people. There becomes an event where you take that one shot, because it's going to happen to you in life and in business too. I believe what you said is right. I believe the mind trains the body now, like, hey, this shutdown thing protects us. And even though you're a badass still, that same blow's delivered that didn't do that to you before. There's this involuntary thing that happens now.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I think it makes a lot of sense to me.
I think so too.
And that I don't want to believe it because I don't know how to change it. But
I think there's a way to change it.
And that's the thing.
I think when you're aware of it, there's a way to change it. I think this is a really powerful thing, because in life and in business, and for you the next 50 years, there have been things that have happened to you in your life that prior didn't make the impact on you, and there's a traumatic event that happens. You need to be guarding what you just said, and that is that now you've trained yourself how to respond to that event in a way that doesn't serve you. This is a huge thing, everybody, because you could be winning in business and in life, or in a relationship, or in a sport, and then there's that event, and that traumatic event can flip the way you react to the same exact event when it happens to you again.
Right. And like, when I was winning, and even for me, the hardest part about retiring was I was winning fights until I got caught.
There you go.
But the thing is that when I was coming up, beating everybody, you could hit me in the head with a brick.
I know.
And I was still coming. Mm-hmm. And I didn't put my hands down. People, why do you keep your hands in there? I want to exchange with you.
Yeah.
I'll trade.
Yeah, trade.
You hit you. Let's go 1 for 1.
Right.
I'm good.
Yes.
Let's go 2 for 1. I think I'm going to beat you. Like I thought, you let me hit. If I get you, can bait you in to hit me, I can hit you, and you're going to hurt more than I do. Mm-hmm. So,
and then there's that event. Who hit you the first time like that, where you're like, oh, that's it? Was it Rampage?
Rampage.
Rampage in that fight, right? Like, I just think that's something to it's not a fun thing to talk about as an athlete, but it's something that I really wanted to ask you about.
And that fight, and I don't know if that was the cause of that happening, but like I was in the back room running back and forth, and I slid on ice and hit my head in the back. I hit the back of my head. I woke up looking at the ceiling.
Are you kidding me?
Right before that fight, yeah.
And you wonder whether that might have made
it might have affected me getting hit, but.
Bro.
But he caught me with a clean shot though too. But
your style was you caught clean shots.
Yeah.
Right? Are you serious? Have you ever told that to anybody before?
No, I really never talked about it much. I've talked about it to friends, but I mean it's like.
They're probably connected, brother.
Yeah, probably had something to do with it, but. I
respect. So I want to talk about now that talk about something about you coming back. And there was criticism when you came back, right, to fight Tito Dallas. I'm like, why is he coming back? Hasn't fought in forever. And but I want to say something to you about that, and then I'd like your answer to it too. I think there's something really powerful you did there. That was one of the best things you ever did as a fighter, ironically, and that is that you live life on your own freaking terms. Other people don't dictate to you when something's over, or when you get to give it your best shot, or when you should do something. And so, I don't know, in hindsight, do you wish you didn't come back for that last fight? Or is there a party like, at least now I know, or?
In hindsight, I wish I'd noticed the problem I had with my neck.
Yeah.
Because I look back now and I
you could have really been something bad could happen too.
But it messed with your balance and coordination. So I go out there and fight. I went back and looked, even on the show, they show the fight. I tripped over the blue line in the center of that ring.
Is that right?
It's like it's tripped. I mean, it's like, I didn't know, but I didn't, we're so tough. We just, it's just something else. On my little off balance day, I'm just tired. It's like, there's no other reason. It can't be something bad. I can't be broken. You can't. So, I wish I'd known that beforehand, but it's not anybody's fault. I mean, I cheated my way through the neuro because I couldn't balance on one foot. I kept my eyes open, but I just thought I was tired. Again, I just looking back at it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
just tired.
Okay.
Do you miss fighting?
I was tired.
right now?
Always. I love fighting.
You love fighting, yeah.
I love doing it. I love the competition. I love training. I love getting ready, hanging out with the guys. I like doing everything. And I love fighting. So
you're in the middle of this, and so you don't know the complete answer. This we were talking about it off camera, but so people that watch this show, probably 20% are UFC fans. The rest of them are like, this is a really interesting, badass dude, right? And I'm learning a lot of lessons from him. But you're at the transition point of your life. You're 50 years old. Yeah. Got some scars to show the wars you've been through.
I mean, I'm getting off cheap, I think. For what I put my body through, I'm getting off cheap.
Do you feel that way? Yeah.
I do feel that way.
And I deal with this with a lot of former athletes. But so there's a lot of people watch this like, I just had a relationship end. Or I just had my business end. And oftentimes, or I just had my career end. And oftentimes, this is really true of an athlete, our identity is tied up in what we do. You know what I mean? Like, that's who you are, because you get all this recognition, accolades, money. All you've done since you were a little boy, for the most part, is this. I wonder if, as you're doing it, what are you learning about finding that next thing you're passionate about? You know, that process, like, what do you think is the journey to doing it as you're seeking it right now? Because they're all wondering that too, many of them.
The thing is, it's hard to explain to people, like you think, oh, he had all this success and he did everything. I mean, I did everything I wanted to in the sport. I did everything. You know, I have a great family. I'm doing all that stuff. Like, when you retire I've been competing for 30 years. You know, like doing football, or I had a football game coming up, wrestling. And all of a sudden, you take the brakes off. I don't have to worry about anything, right? And I don't have that driving force. I always had that driving force right here. I got to be the best. I got to get work. This controls all this stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, everyone knows I was a wild guy. I like to have fun, but I was tempered and controlled by this.
Yeah.
Because having fun did not trump winning. So it's one of those things. It's like all of a sudden that's taken away, and it's like, wait, I got so many things I can do, but which one do I do? And I keep going a little bit this way, a little bit that way, and you don't really get. And then sometimes you get lost. People get lost.
Yes.
I don't know how many athletes come up to me and talk about it.
All the time. Man, it's the number one thing, don't you think, post-career?
Yeah, it's like, because you're so young.
That's right.
You had this high. Sometimes it's hard to figure out how do you re-channel that.
You got it.
And that's something I'm dealing with now. Like, I'm trying to figure out but I think I finally kind of got to the point, and it's been quite a few years since I really retired. And finally got to the point where I'm talking about, I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine was suggesting me doing public speaking and doing more of that. And for me, that's somewhere I think I can change people, because I think there's a lot of things going on nowadays that, you know, I would like to influence people in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, and
I think you can.
You know, and you know, I'm still doing. You know, I do movies and stuff. And
you got a lot of stuff going.
I do a lot of stuff going on to keep my name relevant, keep me relevant, keep stuff out there, so that I can do some of these other things.
Yeah. Can I give you a suggestion on that? Because you gave a little bit of the formula. First off, those of you that want to have Chuck come speak, you can obviously, we're going to get you to his social media in a minute. You can DM and get together. He'll give you contact info, also through me as well. But we all have like a recipe. So not everyone's is the same thing, but for an athlete, and you use the word compete. So if for like your relationship ended and it was something that gave you connection, that seems to be the word, or the business gave you significance, the next thing you find, that's part of the recipe. So you have to find something that gives you connection, even so you have to get something that finds you significance. Your thing is competing. You're wired to compete. I have a good friend of mine, Zach Johnson. He's a PGA golfer. He's won the Masters. He's won the British Open.
That's awesome.
And I said, hey man, do you love golf? When I interviewed him, he goes, I don't know if I love golf. I don't love the grind. I don't love the Tuesdays as much anymore. But I love to compete because that's what I'm best at winning at. And I think the formula post wherever it is ask yourself what you loved about it. Like, did you love getting hit? Did you love hitting people? Yeah. Did I love fighting? Yeah. But you said the word. For you, that word's compete. You got to find something you can compete at again. Whether that's public speaking.
To be honest, I think you're right, because I always talk about. I was about in middle school, I was about a 3.0 student, right?
Pretty good.
And I got there and I got my 3.0 my first. But then they made me go into the gate classes.
Oh, really?
Because I scored good in math and I was doing high math. So they made me do gate classes. And the first test came out, and I saw him go, hey, what'd you get? Oh, man, I got you up to better than you. Wait, whoa, you did what? You're better than me? Oh no. No, I was a 4.0, 4.2 student after that.
No.
Yeah, because okay, no. We're not, that's not okay. Now I really got to work.
See.
Yeah.
See, my friends that are athletes, I don't care who they are. You take, and I want to name drop, so I'll just say my friends. They're the most competitive people I've ever met. They're different. Like they want to beat you at ping pong. They want to beat you at how much tequila they could drink. They want to beat you. Is that not true for you? Right? Like
I've actually, as I've gotten older, I've actually got good at not being that way. I was when I was younger. Mm-hmm. I mean, I pushed my mom down the stairs to beat her in a race. You know,
right.
But not really. But okay.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? But I was that competitive. Like I needed to win everything.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a healthy thing channeled correctly. So I think competing to be, because you are one of the things I admire about you, the more I'm getting to know you, is the kind of dad you are. Like the day after he has this neck fusion, tell him where you went.
I went to a soccer tournament. My daughter's on my daughter was playing. She's awesome.
Because you love her. So I think, I'm just giving you everyone listening to this, you're going to inside thing here. Whatever you're going to do, you need to be competing at it. It's part of this DNA of this dude who was raised by his granddad, and the fighting thing was a way you competed, and you got to find the business, the life thing you're competing at again. Because here I am, I'm almost 50 years old too, right? And all my different businesses have generated something. I'm still freaking competing, man. I want the best podcast. I want the best relationship. I want the best fitness. If you take competition out of my life, I'm useless. To be honest with you, I'm just wandering through life trying to find. Here's what's going to happen. Something to interest me. I don't need shit I'm interested in. I need shit I can compete at, okay? And that's who you are,
right? Exactly.
And even as I say it to you, I see that in you. I see it change in you. You got to compete at being a dad. You got to compete in these businesses. You got to compete at public speaking, and compete at whatever the thing is. And for those of you that's not your thing, it's connection or significance or contribution. The next thing has to have that. If you remove that, you used fighting to compete. Okay? Some of you used a relationship to get connection. You used a business to get significance. You used your business to contribute. It's not the thing you were doing, it's the feeling it gave you. And so where we start to feel like, hey, I'm not what I was, is I don't get the same feeling. So we got to find something you compete at, and that's where you're going.
I agree with you, because I talk to a lot of people about doing something. I hadn't thought about it that way, but I have a friend that just sold his business. Mm-hmm. And that was his thing. He was competing in his business.
Yes.
Like he liked to go I got that deal from them.
Yeah.
I was the one that walked in there and took that, and I did that.
Right.
And now he did real good, sold for a lot, did good, everything's good, but he's like, it's been about a month. He's like,
start twiddling her fingers. You got it.
I need something. I gotta do something.
Yes.
I can see it. I'm like, wow.
So those of you that have former athletes in your life, I promise you one of their buttons is competing. And then and by the way, take Dana White. Is that a competitive dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a competitive dude.
Right.
And so he could have left after they collected their checks on selling the UFC, right? I suppose he could have.
I don't know, but I'm sure.
I'm assuming he probably could have.
They might have made him stay for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you do it, sell, you
keep the leader.
Somebody to transition
you keep the visionary.
But I'm sure it's past that.
What advice would you give? You grew up, a certain way. There's a lot of kids who look up to you. We were talking about this off. He does a lot of, by the way, he's very generous. You're going to come hire him to do paid speaking, but this guy will come. He loves to help kids. Yeah, right. So a lot of these people that are listening to this are either kids watching this or they have kids watching this. And what advice would you give to a young person right now who's like, hey man, I want to do I want to win in my life too, like you've won in your life. What advice would you give to a kid? Maybe they're not in the perfect family situation.
Well, the thing is, you need to find something you really love to do. You need to find something you like, and find someone to help you with it. There's people out there, you got to find someone, there's good guys, there's good people out there that will help you, get to your goal. But you just got to find them. I mean, it's not, and that's the hard thing for a lot of these guys. It's hard to find them. It's hard to get to somewhere, and that's why there's a lot of organizations out there now trying to help out with giving some mentoring to these kids and having them an idea what to do.
You had that, right? You had that with your grandfather, but also your trainer. He was one of those guys for you, wasn't he?
Yeah, my trainer helped me out a lot too.
Because he's humble, if you go ask his trainer and people who watched you when you were a young man, let me tell you how you identify yourself as a young person, of someone worthy of investing that time in. you freaking outworked everybody in camp, didn't you? Like,
yeah. I was always the hardest worker. I always got the coach's award. I was a kid that I was always the guy. I got the coach's award probably every season I played everywhere. I was always the hardest worker. I was always outworking everybody in the room. You know, but that's what I knew. I knew I got to work harder than to beat you. Yeah. I want to be here. I got to work harder.
Yeah, I think, Chuck, like really people that really achieve a high level, I think they take for granted the things they do well, and there's a little part of them like, well, everybody could do that. But that is what separated you. Like, I think when people see all these knockouts, all these wins, all these electric moments in your career, they need to link it back to this dude who was at jiu-jitsu with all these other guys and outworking and by the way, in a sport where most people work pretty damn hard too, right? Outworking the other guys. I'm supposed to ask you this because I wanted to. What's the tattoo on your head?
Oh, it says Koikon, my original karate style. It was actually, when I started doing kickboxing, they were stripping me of my black belt. And because it was old school, like you can't bastardize art kind of thing. Oh. Which actually I started when I was a kid, and I don't follow rules very well when you're 16. Right. So on Friday nights, I used to go to a kung fu school in Santa Barbara. I go to the kung fu school that had open sparring nights. And the guys were kickboxers, boxers, taekwondo guys. And the first couple of times I went there, I said, I got to keep coming back because these guys, they do stuff different. They're not doing the same. Because I'm fighting a bunch of guys that all train to fight the same way. You go in there and our way worked really good. But when you see something crazy coming at you, it's like the first time, it's a little weird.
Sure, I imagine.
So it was great. I had to go down there.
Prep you for UFC.
We weren't supposed to. We got in trouble when they found out. But I went down there every week. Every Friday I'd go down. But it's one of those things that just you gotta use that. You got Koikon. They stripped me of my bucket of bash right now, right? So and this to me was, I was in school for accounting.
For accounting?
Yeah, and I wanted to put it on because it's kind of an FU to them. I earned it, you can't take it from me.
I would love to have you, my accountant, fighting the IRS.
And they said, so when I got it, and I'd had the mohawk for a little bit, and I thought, perfect. I wanted it somewhere where I didn't have to take my shirt off for you to see it. But when I'm going to get a job, I can cover it up.
There you go.
So I put on my head.
So you could go from fighting to being an accountant if you had to, and no one would see the tattoo.
Exactly.
You literally thought about that.
That's how I thought. This is perfect. It's right there, and that's what it was. But it was kind of interesting. They forgot they stripped me of my black belt when became famous.
Who's of all the people you fought? That's crazy. Who of all the people you fought, is there a guy that stands out as like, that's the best dude I ever fought for you? Because for most everybody that you fought, they would say the best dude I ever fought is this guy, right? They'd say you.
I fought all the best guys at my time.
Was there one where you're like, this dude's going to be really tough for me?
I never thought that way. I always thought I'm going to knock this guy out. I got him. I figured out, I know what I got to do with this and this and this. Even after I lost the fight, I'd be walking in the back room, man, I just can't have another shot at this. Can we do this again?
Really?
I got this guy. I know where I messed up. I got him. That's the way I thought. I was just didn't have any. That's the way I was wired.
So not one dude of all of them.
No, there's not one. There's not one. I mean, Randy was tough. That you had to be careful with him. Randy Silva was tough. Man. He's one guy that I thought, man, he kept coming, man. I thought I had him out a couple of times, and he just kept coming. Man.
Last couple things. Where do you see the sport going? Bigger. I feel like lately, they'll probably not be happy I said, I feel like lately that the star making mechanism isn't what it has been before. Do you feel like I know Connor, but
I mean, you go in your ups, you're getting your waves up and down, and we go through some different things.
I know pay-per-views are doing great. And
I think, some of the stuff that I think they went all the way crazy, almost WWE style for a lot of guys, and they kind of came back a little bit from that. And then you also had, for a little while, there was a bunch of guys just trying to do just enough to win. Yeah. Just enough to win. But then they started learning that doesn't make you money. So So you want to make money, people got to want to watch you fight.
Yes.
So they started fighting. Same thing with back to more guys trying to be aggressive and fighting. So it'll keep moving, but it's going to keep getting better. It'll keep.
You think the sport's going to keep growing?
It's going to keep growing. It's the greatest sport in the world.
How do you feel about a MMA fighter getting in a boxing ring and doing their sport? Like, do you feel like that's just sort of silliness, or?
I think it's silly. I would love to see Conor win, but I mean, he's fighting the best defensive boxer of
maybe
all
ever.
time,
Right?
Maybe, and he's never boxed a day in his life, really.
Right.
Like he's never had a boxing match.
Right.
The chances of, everyone always got a puncher's chance. Well, I think Mayweather stood in front of a lot of heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And and he's got no reason to do anything, to overcommit to anything, to do anything, give Conor a chance to do that.
Yeah.
So he had a snowball chance in hell.
Do you think the money for fighters will continue to get better? Because that's why Conor did it, right? I mean, there's more money in boxing.
Hey, for that amount of money, more power to you.
Right. Probably at your prime, had someone organized it, you'd have made a fortune fighting a dude like Tyson.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we were trying to set up a fight with Holyfield.
Really?
People were talking to my people, and I found out later they were talking to Boss Wheaton too.
They were.
But they were talking about doing a boxing match with one of us, or kickboxing. So
Kickboxing in the middle.
In the middle. We're going to meet in the middle. But the funny thing is, both me and Boss are the same type of guys. They're like, well, okay, no leg kicks. Okay, that's fine. You can still kick, right?
No leg kicks in kickboxing?
But you can kick to the body and the head, but no kick in the leg.
I got it, okay.
Because someone told them about leg kicks. So if you've never been kicked in the leg and you're a boxer, I'm going to kick you once or twice and you're going to go, ah!
Is that right?
It's not going to be pretty.
Got you.
But so we're like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever.
Never happened, though.
Yeah, but it never got past. They never offered just boxing, because both me and Boss, you offered us enough money.
Sure, for the money, you'll give it a run, right?
I mean, will I beat him in boxing? No. I think in a good kickboxing match, with leg kicks for sure, 100% I want to beat him.
100%.
Without leg kicks, maybe not.
Right.
But he's a bad man.
Not knowing
just straight boxing, no, yeah, I'm even handle.
Yeah. Not knowing the sports, though, last thing, I don't want to have people be able to follow you, but not knowing the two sports like you do, obviously, right? I would think if there was a chance, an MMA guy'd have a better chance with a boxer in their sport than a boxer with an MMA fighter. I don't know how any boxer.
Okay, this is the way they play.
Yeah.
Mayweather, back when I was going to fight, was trying to offer me $1 million to fight one of his guys.
Okay.
Kind of thing. And really, at the time, I was making more than that fighting, but he said I made less.
Okay.
That whole deal, right?
Okay.
But I'm like, it didn't make sense. But I said, but on an interview, I said, look, I got a 135 pounder. Why don't you? I'll do the boxing. You come over to MMA. I got a 135 pounder. You won't make it out in the first round. Wow. And I guarantee you will. Just pick him up, land him on his hand, and spank him. I mean, it would just. If you don't know how to wrestle or stop a wrestler. It's a done deal.
It's a done deal, yeah.
I mean, look at what happened when Randy Couture fought, what's his name? Oh,
right.
I mean, come on. It actually lasted a little longer than I thought.
Than you thought it would. I'm glad you cleared that up for everybody. Dude, I got to tell you, I've enjoyed today so much because I think people get to see this side of you that maybe they don't ever see. I want to encourage everybody to go watch the 30 for 30 on ESPN that you and Tito are in.
I think it's on ESPN Plus. On the 18th, it comes out on ESPN Plus.
So on ESPN Plus.
It just played on ESPN. I don't know. Then I don't know when it plays again.
Yeah, where it goes. You got to find that 30 for 30 because it's explained to you the UFC and how responsible this man to my left is for building this giant sport that you see to this day. How do you want people to find you so they can connect with you? Where do they go?
At Chuck Liddell on Twitter or Instagram. I have a fan page on Facebook.
And all the different speaking, the different things he's doing, you can connect with him there. Bro, it's an honor for me to meet you. You're a hero of mine. You're a hero of so many people. My favorite thing about you is that you've managed to keep your humility through all of the ups and downs and the success you've had in your career, that you're a real good man. And it's funny to meet such a really strong, intense dude who's like so kind. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate that about you, brother. I enjoyed it.
Very much, man. Thank you.
So good to connect with you today, man.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. Hey, guys. Pretty good, huh? I told you. I'm bringing you the best people in the world. Remember, every day on Instagram, if you follow me, they're the Max Out 2-minute drill, everyone. You can engage with me. You can get coaching calls with me, meet some of my guests, fly on my jet with me, get my book, go to see me speak. Max Out Gear, all kinds of cool stuff. Here's how you do it. When I make a post every day on Instagram, which is 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, every day, I just do it once a day. Make a comment within the first 2 to 5 minutes, and you're in the drawing. Or make a comment on people's comments. Do both, you have more of a chance to win. If you miss the first 5 minutes, just make a comment every day on every post. We add up all the people who comment every day and pick winners from there as well, so I can engage and communicate with you. Chuck, thank you, bro.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
It was awesome today. All right, everybody, if you enjoyed this, share it with people. Fastest growing show in the world. Max out. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around. If you'd like more, click the videos right here. They're exactly what you need to see next. And if you're new here, hit subscribe and become a part of the Max Out community. And tell me what you think about the videos in the comments below. I read all of them every week, and I select winners that get all kinds of prizes, gear, coaching calls with me. Make a comment.